Good afternoon. And another big day for the club, the official opening of the Performance Centre. You must feel pretty settled in here now.
Yes, we've been really training here last weeks, and obviously we feel comfortable already. But it's good also, no, to do this official opening and also to create memories now that we will remember probably in a lot of years. I was there when we opened officially the new performance center, and I'm really happy to be here. Yeah.
Team news for the weekend. Any changes from the Palace game?
I think everyone that was available. The only one that probably we have some doubts is Lewis Cook. Lewis Cook has been struggling past weeks with some issues around his ankle. It's a kind of tendonitis, something like more chronic than something acute, but is not fully training 100%, and we will see, no, if he can arrive to the game. But he's the only one that is with some issues from the ones that were available, no. And apart from him, we continue with Ryan and Enes, that we know from surgeries that the season is out, and Sini that he's not going to be available this weekend also.
The push for Europe, it's complicated, isn't it? Because we don't know what positions are going to be good enough to qualify for a competition. How do you approach that? I mean, I likely would say you just want to finish as good as possible, but it's nothing to aim for, is there?
No, at the end, we don't know what's going to happen, what's going to be the position that gives you the access to Europe. More or less what we are thinking, or we need to think, is that there is 7 teams that are ahead of us, comfortably ahead of us, and there are some teams around us, 3-4 teams that we are fighting for, I don't know, probably one spot, maybe nothing, because we don't know if Palace wins the cup, there is nothing to play for, but we want to think that at least will be one position there that is open, because the distances are 1 point, 2 points are really short, and we know it's going to be difficult, especially for us, because we have a difficult schedule. We have to play against teams that are very good, but now at the end of the season, every point, whoever is the opposition, is very expensive, and we have to go week by week and try to arrive with chances until the last game.
You say that gap is big, but that gap's only got bigger quite quickly. So you've got 5 games left, it can reduce quite quickly as well. So do you see those teams above you as more your rivals at the moment? All those teams you mentioned around Brighton, Fulham? Probably
the teams that we are fighting with are Brighton, Fulham, Brentford with the win the other day. Even Palace got a valuable point the other day against Arsenal. But when there are a lot of teams, no, fighting for just probably one position, you have to get good results. It's not like if you are average, probably you can get ahead of some of these teams, but you are not going to be the best of those teams. So you have to win games, and that's what we are going to try. Yes.
There's been a lot of speculation around some of your players this week. I mean, we know about Dean's release clause, but do you think European qualification could convince some, like Milos Kerkez, like Anton Semenyo, to get into Europe?
I haven't felt this week especially different from the others. You know, I suppose this is happening to every team, to every not all the players, but the ones that especially are doing very well. I don't think it is affecting us a lot, to be honest. In the games, I see the players focused on what we have to do, and I hope we continue like this until the end. Some things you cannot control, the noise from outside, but I don't feel like it's affecting us a lot.
It feels like everyone's talking about Dean at the moment. He's a really young man. He's only turned 20, last week or the last few weeks. You know him better than us. As a young man, is he able to block that kind of thing out?
From what I see every day training and playing, and I don't see it's affecting him at all. I see him in the same mood that he normally is. He's training well. I think he's playing well also, and I think he's, even being young, is not something strange for him. He's coming from big teams, even if they were not in the first team, but he's coming from Roma, from Juventus, from teams that probably these things are quite natural, and I see him quite normal, yes.
And just finally for me on Manchester United, not a great season by their historic standards. It seems it's all on the Europa League for them now. You beat them 3-0 in December. What has changed, if anything, that Ruben Amorim's changed since you played them in that match?
I think they don't change their structure a lot. They are trying to find the best spots for every player. For sure, he's more familiarized than when we faced them there. I think when we played them, the game was quite leveled. It was not a 3-0 game. I don't think probably we were a little bit better, but a little bit. It's not for me. It wasn't a 3-0 game, and I expect also a tight game. I hope we can win it. We can make the difference. But it's a team that normally defends quite well. Doesn't give you a lot of chances. And I know they have the game on Thursday in the Europa League, but they have 4 days to rest. So we've been preparing against the best Man United team. Yes.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I know as Bournemouth manager, you of course want United to lose this weekend, but as a football fan, how much do you want United to lose next week in the Europa League?
No, I definitely want United to lose this weekend. Not this because it is a very important game for us. I think it's a key game. After this one, only have 4 games remaining, but it's true, I'm not going to hide it, that I also want Athletic Club to win the Europa League. So definitely also I will support Athletic Club, yes.
You said the game at Old Trafford was much closer than 3-0.
Yes.
What was the key to getting over the line and doing so well that day?
At the end, these are small margins. We scored from a set piece. That is always something that makes a difference outside of the run of the game sometimes. Just you take benefit from a good routine. I remember Dean's goals, and then gives you a little bit of advantage to play more comfortable. And second half was more about exploiting the spaces in behind. I think I remember the last goal, we countered quite well, but I also remember good chances from them. It's not like sometimes you win 3-0 and it was an easy game. And no, I don't remember the game like that. I think we were good, but also they had their chances, and we know it's going to be a difficult game. It's Man United, and they have very, very good players.
That corner from Dean, have you waited too long for another goal from a corner?
Yeah, it was actually a free kick. It was almost from that side, but it was a free kick. But it's true that probably we haven't scored as many offensive set plays as the season before. It's true that we've missed big chances. The other day we did a really nice routine against Palace. Also, Dean misses almost a sitter there. And I think we are having the chances, and if you see our stats from set plays offensively are quite good, but I think we should have scored more goals, yes.
And just going back to the fact that United have got the Europa League game, from your point of view, what's your approach as a manager when you've got a league game where there's seemingly not a lot on it, and then just 3-4 days later a huge cup game? How do you approach those two? Do you play your strongest team to try to get some momentum? Do you rotate a little or a lot? How do you approach things?
I don't know what they are going to do. I don't know. I suppose for them Thursday is very, very important, but I'm sure they want to beat us on Sunday also. And also Thursday is not like the second leg. It's the first leg. After they will have to wait another week, play the decisive game 1 week later. So we've prepared the game against we don't know obviously the players that are going to be against us, but we have prepared like they are going to put their strongest 11, whatever it is, that I'm not even, whatever he considers, yes, obviously.
2 weeks ago you sat there and you were quite unhappy at the sort of the quality of some of the goals you'd conceded recently. How pleased are you with back-to-back clean sheets?
I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with the clean sheets, because even the other day that we didn't finish happy with a point against Palace, they played with 11 the first half, and they didn't shot on target. And Palace is a dangerous team, and also we came from a very good defensive performance against Fulham, and at the end this gives you point. Against Fulham were 3, the other day against Palace it was 1, but you keep adding points, and if you are strong defensively, normally we create chances and we score our goals, and for me is what has given us a lot during the season. I think our defensive numbers have been really good, and that was not the concern we had like some games before when we were conceding like cheap goals that have been uncharacteristic in us this season, I think. Thank you.
Just kicking off with Sunday, obviously you said about preparing for the best United.